Hello, welcome to this tutorial on how to insert variables into loops so that each repetition is a bit different from the previous one. Okay, so to do this, I'm going to construct a Scratch bouncing ball game with you and demonstrate how a few variables can change with loops. Okay, so as our basic setup, we have a ball, a ground for the ball to bounce on, and a duration, height, and reps variable. So duration is going to be how long the ball is going to bounce for. Height is going to be how high the ball bounces, and reps is going to be the number of reps we have left. Okay. So I'm just going to give you a moment to get this done, and feel free to pause this video as you do so. Okay, and then the next thing to do is to go to the events and get the when green flag is clicked, and then go to motion and choose the go to X100 and Y100. This is also part of the basic setup, and just follow along with the X and Y values. I found them through trial and error, and you don't really need to do so for a trial game. So, if you've done that, you can go to control, and you'll see an if-then statement right here. And then into this blank, we're going to insert this is in sensing, we're going to insert a key space pressed. And you'll see that it fits perfectly. And what this means is that when the space key is pressed, then the loop will start. Okay. And then what we need to do first is set initial values for the variables. So in the variables page, you'll see a set command. And firstly, height, you're going to set that to 100. And for duration, you're going to set that to 0.05. And for reps, you're going to set that to 50. Okay, so what this means is that the ball will start at 100, and for the first rep, it's actually going to bounce back to 100. And then duration, for the first time the ball bounces, it's going to bounce for 0.05 seconds. And then reps is going to be a bit confusing, but I'll explain that after we have the entire thing going. But reps is literally the number of reps we have left. So at the start we have 50 left because we haven't done anything yet. Okay, and then next, because we have the initial value set, we need to go to repeat until. And you'll see that if you scroll down and into this blank space, we're going to go to operators and find the equals sign. And then we're going to use 0. And for the first blank space, we're actually going to choose reps. So what this means is that we're going to, at the start, we have 50 reps left, and we're going to keep going until we have 0 reps left. And then, obviously, because we're bouncing, right? So we're going to choose the glide statements. So glide a few seconds to x100 and y negative 100. And then obviously this is going down, so we need another going up statement. And okay, so this is a task for you. In the first glide statement, we need a variable in the durations part, and in the second glide statement, we need a variable in the duration part and the y value. I want you to select the variables that you think we might need here. feel free to just pause this video and do that. So, as you might have guessed, the first variable is duration. I guess that might have been pretty obvious from writing. Yeah, so you do this. So this means that we're gonna take duration sex to glide, and we're gonna glide back up to a certain height that changes every time. And then what we need to do after this is actually change the variables, right? Because if we have the same values for the variables for each repetition, that's just not going to make any sense. Okay, so you'll see a change variable button here. And we're going to have 3 of those for duration, height, and reps. Okay, so we're going to change the duration by 0.003 actually. We're going to change the height by -4 and the reps by -1. Okay, I just want you to follow along with these values because once again, I found them through trial and error, and you don't really need to go through the entire boring process. Okay. So what this means is that for each rep, the duration, the time it takes for the ball to bounce is going to increase by 0.003. And how high the ball is going to bounce is going to decrease by 4 units. And when you're going to have 1 less rep left after each rep, if that makes sense. Okay, so after this, just in case the place where you end up after this entire loop doesn't align with the ground that we have, I just want you to insert a glide statement after the repeat until. And once again, we're going to put duration in the sex space, and we're just going to insert -100 into the y value. Notice that the y value of the first glide statement is the repeat until, and the new y value is the same. This is because I want the ball to stop at the ground, if you know what I mean. Okay, and then one last step. If you run this, you'll see that the code very briefly highlights. Watch. Yeah, and that's actually Scratch running through the code. So if you click the green flag and then press space, nothing is going to happen. This is because Scratch has already run through the code, and now it's not looking at the if-then statement anymore. So you can go to Control and select the forever and put that around the entire if-then statement. And now, if you click the green flag, then the code stays highlighted. And now if you press the space button, you can see the duration, height, reps changing. Okay. And then, because the if-then statement is still going, even after the ball stops bouncing, you can just click space again, and then it will go again. Okay, so this is the end of our tutorial on how to insert variables into loops to make each repetition a bit different from the previous one. And thank you for watching this tutorial.